ये हो गया. So, so first question, are you applying the knowledge in your daily life? If yes, it will help us evolve to rise in awareness, to rise in awareness every time, every day, every moment. But if we are not applying this wisdom, this knowledge, then what happens? We have a two personality. Inside, I say, I have understood, I'm enlightened. And outside, I am frustrated. I am frustrated. So, what is blocking is the impurity of the mind. So, in our personal, professional life, we can say it is all about shyness. No, no. Let him or her do whatever she wants. No, I have to apply those principles. As long as I'm living in relationship, if I'm not meeting, it's okay. So, no shyness, no fear. We will make a mistake. So, we become aware that we have made a mistake and then we can correct it. That is the journey of a seeker. Seeker does not say that I have become perfect. No seeker declares that I have achieved, I have understood. Done. So if we think like this, thanks to you, why should I say thanks to you? Congratulations. So non seeker does not realize that intellectual understanding has to be realized in my day to day life. I have to convert, I have to translate that into my daily living. And what are the two tools? Discernment and dispassion. If we do not apply, ah, let me give another example. It came into my head early in the morning. We all are voters. We are living in a democracy. We all have one vote. Are you clear? And another person has also a single vote, but he gets all the votes and he become a politician. Think, understanding. We all are. India is also a democracy. I'm not talking of politician. This politician is our mind. It gathers all the votes from different experiences. And this mind in ignorance will return again. It say, no, I know it. The way all politicians say, no, I have nothing to do with any whether Republican, independent. But I always cast a vote. So as a voter, I casted a vote for certain things, but the politician goes against. So our mind goes against. This mind is a politician. Did you get it clearly? I have one vote, you have one vote. You get all the votes, you become a politician. And I am frustrated that why I've casted a vote to you. So there what comes? The discernment and dispassion. Politician is using my vote. Mind is using my false understanding, and that is why I'm not able to achieve. See, so that is why I said non seeker does not realize the mistakes. We, a seeker, always realize the mistake and correct the mistake. And that is how we rise in consciousness and we reach to the highest state. Even after reaching to the highest state, you don't say, you don't claim. Someone asked Socrates that, oh, now you know it. He says, only I know only one thing that I don't know. So it's a matter of discernment. So once we understand that part and we ask the intellect to help the mind to realize you should not seek many votes. You should seek one. Intellect discernment says you seek only one. Always one. What is that one? Is the real self, is the pure consciousness. Finished. And that is how this metaphor works. I'm repeating again all the first five or four verses. And because once you have a clarity of these five or four verses, then we can explore how this mind causes the ignorance and we can get rid of it. We discussed metaphor is just not like a symbol, it is an image. Ah, you say it is a comparison. It is a simile to understand a concept or a reality. It vividly, it vividly, mind is able to visualize vividly unfamiliar concepts. So it gives a meaning. What is real self? It gives a meaning to what is consciousness that we cannot see through the mind. Another part is that these metaphors leave a very strong impression in the mind. You know, we already have studied in physics. Here is a circle, matter, then atom, then electron is moving in a circle, and at the center there is a proton, and then there is a neutron. So you see that symbol, that metaphor helps us to understand the exact nature of the matter, and that is what we are doing. It's not a big deal in the. You have to drop that politician of your mind. Then only it will work. So, with that metaphor, we have understood there are four stages that we understand is nothing but the four stages of the manifestation of the universe. But why we are focused on the universe? Because the more we understand this universe, the more we also understand ourselves. So, more we understand ourselves, the more we understand the universe. And when we have a clarity, who am I? What is this world? What is the existence? Then I can think, speak, and act in peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. It means the mindfulness or meditation 24 by 7. 24 by 7. So we also discussed one thing more that you see that I think I discussed in other sessions. That when we become aware of all the living species, including the animals, or recently our Prime Minister uh, got how many? 8 tigers from some South African countries. and they were left in a forest. Forest nature. We are not left in a forest. To make it very simple. So every biologist, were constantly aware. They are monitoring these tigers that how they can acclimatize with the forest. Why? Nature is there for them to survive. They already have a chip. They do not need to reach a mental maturity. We need to reach a mental maturity. Tiger in the forest. So everything, food, security, survival. But it is different in with all of us, the human being. We have to make an effort, and that effort helps me to rise in self-awareness, and that self-awareness develops an individuality. And individuality in the beginning is a helper, and now it has become a barrier. That is why our master says, leave, drop this ego, you are enlightened. Keep the ego, you remain in oneness. So that is what the individuality is. So when we transcend that individuality, we become one with the all pervading consciousness, and that is what the meditation is. Mindfulness. That is where we move into the awakening and enlightenment, what people say. So what happens? The tiger cannot become self-aware. To that extent, we become self-aware. No animals. No animals. So come back with that understanding of self-awareness. That is why we are using the metaphor that is helping us to recognize now. You already know the four stages. So what happens? The metaphor helps us to recognize which one out of the four is real and the rest are superimposed. Superimposed. Outer fourth level, there's body. Physical body is superimposed over the real self. Second level, the subtle mind is superimposed over the real self. Third is the causal body, superimposed over the real self. So they are superimposed for the sake of individuality. So I can think, I should know the purpose of my life, unlike other animals. So that is the reason our master says if the mind is habitual, impulsive, instinctive, we are a non-seek. And that is why we have to apply discernment and dispassion. Am I making a right statement? So the another example many master gives that metaphor are identical, but one is real and one is unreal. The image in the mirror is unreal, and outside I am the real. But in case of a dog and cats and other animals, when they look into the mirror, they say it is different. That is why they want to fight, or they want to lick. And we both are ignorant in different ways, including the animals and us. We are identical when we look ourselves into the mirror. No doubt about it. But there the master says, find out what is real and what is unreal. And to find out what is real and unreal, I have to apply discernment and dispassion. And discernment and dispassion should take place in the intellect. It does not need any physical practices. So that is why the mindfulness is non practice. It is all about understanding who we are, who we are. So now another point here that we understand the metaphor to dehypnotize, to move the mind to a state of desuperimposition in our mind. The moment you have a desuperimposition in the mind, the identification with the consciousness is there, and I am the real self, and that consciousness is all pervasive. Look at the metaphor. First is the white cloth, naturally clean, compared with the pure consciousness. Then the sketching, starching is done, not the sketching, starching is done. That represents the causal state of the creation, manifestation. Third stage is the sketching, the subtle level. And the fourth stage is the outer level. Keep in your mind if you are attending these Saturday session because the entire journey is based on these four stages of manifestation. Fourth stage of manifestation, I can see. That is why it is physical. So then we can become aware. How can I recognize these physical elements by the five sense organs? So why it is known as the subtle stage of meditation. Now, subtle stage of manifestation. Why it is known as subtle? Because I cannot see through my sense organs, thoughts, feeling, sensations, images. I cannot see. And it must have a cause. So there is a causal stage. And behind that, there is a pure consciousness. So the secret of practice and non-practice is that do we have a clear understanding? Yes, I have it. Does that understanding live with you 24 by 7? You have already achieved. But why it is not so? Mind superimposes. I gave an example of a politician. We want votes from everyone. Did you get it? Nowadays we are getting almost, from where these politicians get our phone number, they send you message every now and then. You see, that nature of the mind must go. That is what the impurity of the mind. Greater the impurity, we are a non-seeker. Impurity is objectified mind. It is not, when I say, when we work in the world, impurity means the mind is objectified. Real self is subjective real. That is the only thing to understand. So we live in the mode of a non-seeker in our day-to-day life. We need lot of practices. We are a seeker means we live at the highest level of discernment and dispassion all the time. It is done. So just understand that in the first verse, now I'm just translating these 4 and 5 verses that I have been explaining. on the Saturday sessions for the last couple of weeks so that we can go deeper. In the first verse, the master says, I will explain the metaphor and then its application to understand the real self. He says, there are four stages are identified in metaphor. So we have a four stages of our evolution. You see me physically, but you don't know what I'm going to speak out the next moment. It is the subtler level. So once that subtle level manifests through the body, physical, then you know what I'm speaking. But this subtler level must have a cause. So that is also the causal level. And behind that cause, what is supporting is our pure consciousness. We are that pure consciousness. so, so in the second verse, then after explaining metaphor and its application, four stages of evolution of the human race and the four stages of metaphor. What are those four stages? First is the white cloth, second is the starching, means causal, third is the sketching, fourth is the painting. Same way we can say pure consciousness, causal stage, subtle stage, and the physical. That is how he has explained the my master used to explain in long back, almost 30, 40 years back. Now in the verse 3, he says, what are the properties? Understand what are the properties of a white cloth? It is clean. It is not artificial, but it is natural. It is always same in appearance. It is always same in appearance. That consciousness, which is still present, but because superimposition is there, so I see it differently. Are you getting it? Say yes, even if you don't get it. It's okay because you are attending, so you get it. Second is the starch. To prepare it for the painting, it is stiffened with the starch. So there is an impulse. You don't say anything, you just maintain your awareness. There is nothing. I say you something. So there is a spur, there is an impulse, there is a trigger. Or even if I don't say anything, you wake up in the morning, there is a clean white cloth, means there is pure awareness. But suddenly the next moment there is a spur, trigger, causal stage, converts into a thought. Thought says go to the restroom. Physical action is done. We will understand that. We will explain. So that is what the third, second, third, and the fourth stage. So that is what the verse 3 is there. Then the metaphor is to be applied. So the metaphor is to be applied. The white cloth is pure consciousness. So now when we say it is a pure consciousness, we should always keep in mind what we should keep in mind. This pure consciousness is non dual, it's non dual. It is means it is indivisible, it is non changing. So the entire teachings of the Eastern wisdom is that this real self is pure consciousness. Why it is pure consciousness? We should ask, we should understand. So there are five characteristics of this consciousness by which we can recognize that we have a eureka moment. Eureka, you know the meaning of the eureka. I have found it. I have found it. So, first, consciousness is not a part of the thought. We are talking in terms of the thought, but behind the thought, there is a consciousness. So, that consciousness is not a part of the thought. That consciousness is not a property of thought. That consciousness is not a product of a thought. This we have to think, contemplate, and reflect on this. Consciousness, three properties. Consciousness is not a part, property, or a product of thought. That is why it is pure consciousness. If the consciousness is a part, product, and property of a thought, then this consciousness is a dead matter, and which it is not. That is our daily experience. So it can never be a thought. It is not a thought. You need only an understanding. Oh, I have to find myself, where I am. I'm in my room. So I'm referring to the physical body. I'm not referring to my real self. I am stressed. I'm referring to my mind. I have a lot of challenges I have been suffering from. It comes from the causal stage. But in all the stages, one thing is common, the consciousness. Consciousness does not say that I am stressed. It is the mind that says. Consciousness does not say that I have a headache. That's why we are studying mindfulness. So remove the head also and the headache also. So three things we should understand clearly. Three characteristics: part, property, and a product. What is the fourth one? That is why the consciousness is different from a thought. It is not limited to a thought. You think you know you are. You don't think, still you know you are. See that? See the beauty. So it's self evident. It's a proof. Even if no one says, no, no, I don't believe you are Vaibhav, still you exist. You are still there. Consciousness, it means what? This consciousness pervades all the thought. It is independent of the thought. When it gets associated with a thought, creates an experience. Did you get it? Let me rephrase it. Consciousness is all pervading. It permeates every thought, feeling, sensation, every cell of the body, past memory, good or bad, high or low, when associated, creates an experience. Who knows? Body is moving, this hand is moving, the mind says. But unless the consciousness is associated with this hand plus the mind, I cannot know what is happening. Not the mind, but behind that mind, consciousness is associated. And that is what we are searching. If we are independent of the thought, if we are independent of the thought, we are already free. It does not mean that we are not using the thought. Continue using it as an instrument. But what happens, we get involved as if we are the mind. We get involved as if we are the body. We get involved with all those experiences, which says, I have a lot of stress, I'm in anxiety, I have a lot of pleasure, I have everything. So just contemplate and reflect that consciousness is not a part, product, property of thought, independent, separate from a thought. It it is in the thought but not a thought. It is in the body but not the body. One of the very wonderful Upanishad we have. It starts with the mantra. It is in the water but not the water. It is in the body, not the body. It is in the mind but not the mind. It is in the thought but not the thought. It is in my painful experience but not the painful experience. It is independent. Close your eyes. We will continue our journey. Eyes are closed. You see, I talked about individuality. We all have pets of one or the other kind, and if you tell them, please close your eyes and be comfortable, will they become? You know it. So we have to separate, not to undermine the living species, but to undertake the journey. Oh, so I should be aware when I say close your eyes, adjust and align your body, and be comfortable. It makes sense to you because of individuality. It is the individuality is a helper, it is the individuality is a guide in the journey of mindfulness. So, antidote, discernment and dispassion. See how all these principles are now closely related, associated. Without that self awareness or individuality, you cannot listen to me, or I cannot listen to you. Whether you say it's a self awareness or give any name or intellect, doesn't make it. Now, see, when I say look at the neck joint, that individuality, that self awareness looks. Then I say experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Are you aware that experience is the result of association of the body, mind, plus consciousness? So that is why we say sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Okay, then what is next is the space. What is space? Space is awareness. Now, what is awareness? Awareness is a space. So, in the entire journey, we did not do as such any practice. We followed discernment and dispassion. Can we filter out? Can we filter out neck joint? Yes. Why? It is constantly changing. So, what is changing is not me. Finished. The shoulder joints. So, when I say it, individuality or self awareness, the mind goes there. or the mind does not go there. So when the mind does not go there, can we say we are a non-seeker? No, no, it returned me. Now it is. We are a seeker. Who understands this? The intellect. How it understands? By discernment. What is discernment? Separating. What we are separating? That one image. Now, when you look into the mirror, your image and you are identical. Identical means perfectly the same, but one is real and other is not. We separate. Very subtle. We start living in an extraordinary awareness. Dear Krishnamurti used to say, mindfulness is a state of extraordinary awareness where we realize the world manifest and world unmanifest. No, no, how can you see that? Shoulder joint, manifest world. Then we move to the subtler level. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You see that? That's a subtler. No, it's still subtlest, the space. Now it is what is unmanifest now? The shoulder joint. What is unmanifest now? Is the experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Oh, yes, space and space is awareness and awareness. You see, this manifestation and unmanifestation is happening every moment. Now, the same way, why I'm using the word manifestation and unmanifestation, because I'm associating this with a metaphor. In deep sleep, everything is unmanifest. And same thing also happens in a waking state from moment to moment. So when I say be carefree, free from all the cares of the mind cares with the thoughts, with the feeling, with the memories, with opposite thoughts and feeling, with pain, with pleasure. All these either experiences you can say or feeling, or we can say the thoughts. So now we are extraordinarily aware what we are doing. We are doing nothing. There is a discernment. This thought is not me. Why it is not me? Consciousness is not a part, product, property of the thought. And that is me. Hence, I can discern and see myself as an observer, as a witness, as a knower. So, why I started the journey today by understanding where is that understanding? The intellect says, I understand it. The mind does not realize this knowledge. So even when this is going to happen now at this present moment, the mind will constantly agitate you. That is why I said a dual personality. Understanding means knowledge. Knowledge means awareness. Awareness means consciousness. Doesn't mean we are doing something. But our mind claims that doing nothing is also doing something. Why it is so? Our understanding of discernment and dispassion are not complete. They give you everything. I know 100% the walls of this room in which I am sitting is different and separate from me. It has nothing to do with me. But it does not happen when we get associated with the physical body and claim that body is causing a problem. In the extraordinary awareness, by the discernment and dispassion, at a lower level, my experience is sensation, comfort, and steadiness in the body. That is an experience we have already understood, associated. But after that, there is only a space, and that space is awareness, and awareness is the space. We have already reached to that one that is not superimposed out of the four. Oh, so I simply know. The way I know it's a neighbor's house and this is mine. The way I know image is present in the mirror, but the real body is outside. So we can also apply the same understanding I just discussed. We are living in a democracy. We all are voters. So one voter gives vote. All voters give vote to a voter, he becomes a politician. and that is our mind. That politician is the mind contains millions of the thoughts, feeling, images, memory, experiences. That is known, seen, experienced. You are discerning now. What is the discernment? Separating what we are separating, what we are not. So, what we are separating, any thought, feeling, images that is known, experienced, is not me. It is known. Then what happens? The knower, the witness, whether you say it's a knower, whether you say it's a witness consciousness, it is revealed. I need not to make any effort. But when I know you, there must be some knower who knows you. And then I explore. Are the eyes knower? Yes. But behind the eye, it is the mind. Mind is the knower. No, no, it is behind the mind, there is a consciousness. So, fact is that the consciousness is the knower. I claim mind in the sense of eyes are partial knower, no problem. But we have to find the real self by understanding. And we have recently understood that consciousness, which is unchanging, it is not a part property and a product of the thought, it is all pervading, it never changes, and that knower can never become known. What it means? When I see you through my eyes are the knower. But when the mind perceives the eyes are the known. Oh, so it has two roles, partial knower and partial known. That is why it is not me, it is not the real self. Same thing applies to the mind. We just discussed. It is not the thought, but it is in the thought. It is not in the feeling, but it is in the feeling, but not the feeling. That our masters call it as a knower, as a witness consciousness. Is the witness consciousness always present? Always, even in deep sleep. Ever, all pervading. So, by understanding through the discernment, we are clear about the known and the knower. This known are millions, and the knower is always one. So, when we live into that state of awareness, we recognize it is in the body, but not the body. It is in the mind, but not the mind. It is in the thought, but not the thought. It is present there. We are just aware of that politician mind. Mind will say, I have understood, and it will start thinking. I'm not an effort, not an action. I'm not a doer. Doer lives in the three outer stages of manifestation: superimposition, when we use the word silence, it is nothing but the mind through an understanding desuperimposed of all the thoughts because we just understood what we understood. It is not a thought, it is inside the thought. So, well, if there is no thought, then there is only pure consciousness. What is left? It is only this. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you for that. That was very. I would say it was very powerful, and because of the power, I had long, deep moments of consciousness that was just wonderful.
Good. Once the knowledge is settled in the intellect and then we check it, we are there. That is another way to say we have a power. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Good, sir. Thank you. Namaste. My takeaway was that consciousness permeates everything.
Yeah.
And then through that, we're living wisely.
So that we are living wisely, yes. That is what every master says, that this real self is all pervading, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, and long list. So once we live into that state, definitely we are living wisely. How are you, Kate?
Good morning, everybody. Namaste. It's lovely to join you. I've been out and about with my mother, so it's just been lovely to join you. It's like nice to be in peace.
Very good. Very good. Nice to be in peace. How are you, Rakesh? Terry, you can open it.
Thank you, sir. Sir, it was very peaceful and silence throughout.
Well, good. Peace and silence throughout. More and more the mind realizes this, better it is. How are you, Terry? Terry is wonderful. And once you have that intention or motivation or inspiration inside you, your intellect is very much clear in spite of lots of challenges. Okay, you keep opening up in the meet. Oh, it's not open. So are you in a? Yeah, now it is open.
Oh, I'm just listening, but I need to do the practice again because I'm dealing with a lot of things distracting me right now.
But it is a non-practice.
It is what?
It is a non-practice. You have not practiced anything.
Well, Yes, that's true.
Yeah, the moment the mind missed that, and then the mind associates it with the physical body, the past memories, and the thoughts, we are gone. You see, that is why I explained to you who is a politician.
Oh, the mind is trying to sell you
Yes,
something.
yes, yes. That
Yes.
once we have that
Yeah.
understanding, we are there. How are you, Anesthesia?
Thank you. I am very peaceful, and it was deep meditation, a very comfortable and warm feeling,
Very good.
like in a womb of a mother. I don't remember, of course, but it looks like, I think.
Yeah, 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 yeah. These. I have to add one thing more. It will help you to understand the entire journey of the Eastern wisdom. So, when we are absorbed into Hiranyagarbha, yeah, when we are absorbed completely into the subtle body, the subtle level of manifestation. So, that subtler level means from outside, it is the second stage of the metaphor. So, a total absorption, the word is used as a Hiranyagarbha. So Hiranyagarbha, the literal meaning of the Hiranyagarbha, the golden womb. So when you explained it, we will talk about that, how that symbolism works. How are you, Rakesh? Ashok? Marriott. We have a Marriott hotel there also in India. He works there.
Sir, namaste.
Namaste, sir.
Sir, all good, peace and
All
calm,
very good.
progressing during the
Prog-
daytime, observing,
Very good.
and I mean sometimes thoughts comes, and behind the thoughts I just to observe what is that. उसको भाव कहते हैं क्या जो behind the thoughts से पहले भाव. That is the causal body.
No, that's not the causal body. That is the knower.
That is the knower. Okay,
Yeah, that is a witness. That is Sakshi.
that is actually because
Ah,
before the thoughts, it I mean going to
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah. When
That's what.
I witness you without any preferences, prejudices, duality, and a conflict, so I'm witnessing you. I'm a knower. I'm not affected by you. I'm not,
Sakshi.
yeah, Sakshi. I do not get associated with you. So that association, why there is no association? Because there is a discernment. But it does not mean in the outer material world that oh no, I'm totally aloof, and you start declaring to everyone, you see that, honey, I'm not associated with you. So then you are a crazy.
Yes,
So
I understand. I can't do that.
yes, you don't have a luxury to do that.
Yes,
You can't do that.
I don't need luxury to do that.
I know her.
Right.
And she will call me and she will complain me about you. Yeah, how are you? Vaibhav?
Sir, I'm good. It was deep, calm, peaceful.
Um, Very good. You see, just compare and contemplate. The light is there. This light is not attached to my computer, to you, to me, to my face, and to anything. It is simply present. In the presence of that light, I'm giving you a session, I'm talking to you, I'm able to see you, and still the light is not affected. That is Sakshi, that is witness, that is the knower. Thank you. Thank you. We'll meet again. Be
Thank you,
happy.
sir. Namaste, everyone.
Yeah. Peace, peace, peace.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you.
Namaste.